Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, here we are. It is now Thursday, November the 7th at 7 o'clock in the evening. I just got off the phone with David. I actually started a video. He called and I stopped. I paused it. I actually paused it correctly, but then I kind of lost my train of thought, and I thought, maybe I should just start this one over again. So I just talked to David. He's doing a lot better. He's not going to put anything up on his channel tonight, but he'll probably be back in action starting tomorrow. I just want to thank all of you for all the wonderful comments and support you've provided on the video I put out last night at midnight. It was just overwhelming, the number of comments and warm thoughts and wishes, and I really do appreciate that. I responded as best I could. I actually did read all of the comments. I responded to as many as I could. Some of the responses, were probably a lot less than you'd normally get from me, but I really do appreciate that. From the comments, there were a couple of themes that came forward. The first theme is that the election was stolen. I get that. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but boy, there sure are a lot of things that sort of happened that were interesting. Going as far back as, the Russian plane and Trump's plane and the Saudi plane all being next to each other on the tarmac. All the Russian interference, like with the fake videos against Tim Walz or the bomb threats in Georgia. You've got Elon Musk all of a sudden jumping into the deep end of the MAGA pool with both feet doing a cannonball. And it's just like, why is he there? And he goes to that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden the DJT True Social stock starts going up. And we've been saying that stock is a good indicator of how people are feeling about Trump's campaign. And it's just so odd that it took off right then and there. It just makes you kind of wonder if the fix was in. That something around that Butler, Pennsylvania rally is when the plan got executed on this. Once again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's just odd to me. And I certainly hope that people are looking into that. The people that need to look into it are looking into it. A lot of you folks out there were wishing well to David and me. Thank you. We appreciate that. David's going to need just a little more time to self-heal. Yesterday I was not in a great space. I'm in a better space today, but I'm only at about 50% if I'm really honest. I'm really vacillating. I'm doing my best to keep my faith going, to keep my hope alive, that the truth will come out and that we will overcome this. It's really challenging right now for all of us, not just me. So I really appreciate all you folks being there. So I wanted to do a bit of a challenge reading on why the voters were not turning out, so to speak. And some of the comments in the comment section were that people were concerned about the economy and if they were mad about inflation and their wallets were thinner, as it were. And they were willing to sacrifice our representative democracy so their wallet could be a little thicker. Not a choice I would make, but, I'm not middle America either, and I just find it very disappointing that may be the reason why they went with Trump, because they figured Trump would do everything in his power to put more money in their wallets. Apparently, they don't know how tariffs work either. So I'm going to do a challenge reading on what was the main reason Trump won, because there could be multiple reasons, and so for entertainment purposes only, I want to take a look at this. Okay, so was the main reason Trump won because economic issues, that people felt that he would do a better job than Kamala Harris would? Okay. Or was it Russian interference? So I'm going to start with economic issues. Okay, so foundation, I'm just going to do a little four-corner. Foundation is the Four of Wands, people celebrating. Underneath it is the Eight of Pentacles, hard work, trying to earn money, bring things of value. Eight of Cups, the emotional walking away. The World card, and I'm guessing I'm gonna have to. I'll go underneath here, and then the Star. Okay, so was it the economy? Okay, so for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so what are we seeing? So the Four of Wands, it's about celebrating little victories. This could be Trump in his rallies, saying how fight, I'm going to fight for you, and I'm going to work hard and cut taxes for you, and raise tariffs on China to punish them. They should be looking at this and saying, this doesn't make sense. What you're saying, you're looking at Trump's behavior and it doesn't make sense. He's so erratic on stage. And what he says is gibberish. The business leaders were challenging him. I'll cut your taxes to 20% from 21. And they're like, well, why 20%? And the business leaders, the CEOs were walking away from it. They're looking at Trump and they're thinking, this is the end of the world. He's not the star he once was. Or they're looking at him and they're hoping that he still is the star he used to be, because they feel like people have ignored them and aren't paying attention to their values anymore. So, yeah, it's valid. People were definitely voting for him and willing to not embrace the hope and joy message of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. That could be the star card too. Is they really like that message, but they like their wallet better. I don't get a feel looking at those cards. I don't get this super positive like that was the big driver. Certainly it was in the exit polls, and I guess there could be another driver too. That's one I hate to ask, but that's certainly something that people would look at. Okay, so let's look at another driver. Was the reason why Trump won primarily because Kamala Harris is not a white male? God, how bad are we? Okay, foundation is the Hierophant. It's about governments and big organizations, maybe even corporations. Judgment, answering the call. Seven of Wands, defending. King of Cups, and underneath it, the Lover's card. So is it because Kamala Harris is not a white male? Okay. Foundation is the Hierophant. Typically in these government organizations, they're run by powerful white men. This election, was a call. It's like, do you want to support the powerful white man who's losing his mind, or do you want to support joy and harmony for someone who's not a white man? You've got the Seven of Wands. Kamala and the King of Cups was just typically Joe Biden. I think in this case, this is the Democrats. They're fighting. They're constantly having to defend Joe Biden, Joe Biden's age, Joe Biden's the way he conducts himself. He has a verbal faux pas, and all of a sudden the press is all over them, and they're just always on the defense. And underneath it, you've got the Lovers. You've got people making agreements. Once again, I think my gut is telling me that, yeah, sure, there's misogyny out there. There's racism out there. What the heck? Trump has shown us that is alive and well. once again, I'm not seeing this definitively that this is the main reason. Is it a reason? Yes, it is a reason. Is it the main reason? It doesn't look like it once again. I'm not getting a feeling from these cars that this is what's driving it. So we are now going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole and say, okay, was the main reason why Trump won because Russia interfered with our election and potentially changed votes to make Trump win? Let's see what these cards say. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. There it is, the Empress card. Yep, Mother Russia's right there. We had done a reading. I think we had done a challenge reading on the Republicans and Democrats for the... I thought it was for the executive office, but for the presidency, but maybe not. And both the Democrats and the Republican, the foundation of the reading was the Empress. And I was going after the normal, it's about abundance and blah blah blah. And it turns out maybe it's Mother Russia is the big driver behind this. Okay, so foundation. Was it Russia election interference that gave Trump this win? So we've got Mother Russia as the foundation. Underneath it, you got the Two of Wands. They're looking out at the future. They've got they're looking at their decisions, in their plans. Seven of Swords. Their plans to steal the election. The Five of Cups. Not happy with how things are going. And then the Knight of Wands putting together a message and charging forth with it. Folks, we have a winner. These are strong cards, okay? The other two were not strong cards. Once again, I am not a conspiracy theorist, and I fight this every single time. But gosh darn it, man, those are not great cards if you're trying to say that Russia had nothing to do with it. Because, this is Putin's looking at this. If Trump doesn't get elected, he's doomed. His life is on the line here because of what's going on in the Ukraine. If Harris gets into the Oval Office, the support for Ukraine, and if the Democrats take over the Senate and the House, the support for Ukraine is going to increase, and it's going to increase a lot. And Putin's already fighting with weapons that are World War II vintage and North Korean troops. So he knows his days are numbered if Trump doesn't win. So he's going to do whatever it takes to get that person in the office. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. So once again, entertainment purposes only, it sure looks like that's what the deciding factor was. I did try to give it everything I could to mitigate it, to help explain why Trump was able to outperform Kamala Harris. When you look at Kamala Harris's rallies and the energy and the youth people, young people registering to vote for the first time, and independents and more moderate Republicans crossing over, the math doesn't math anymore. All those trends don't make sense. Just a little background on me. I work in finance. I've been a financial analyst for over 30 years. And as a financial analyst, what you do is you look at discrete data and you look for trends. And then from those trends, you try and predict outcomes. And it's something that after you've been doing it for 30 odd years, it's something that you just apply to everything. And it applies in tarot. That's part of your intuition. You look at stuff, you look at trends, and then you make predictive outcomes from that. And that's why when Trump won this, it's like, it doesn't make sense. And how quickly the votes came in, how the results came in. And it's just like, my inner analyst is just screaming that this doesn't smell right. If this was a cup of milk and I smelt it, there's no way I'd be drinking it. Okay, so it seems that Russia had a hand in this and are basically doing this to survive. So is Biden going to do something about this? Okay. So is Biden going to address this? For entertainment purposes only. Okay, here we go. Knight of Pentacles. Right now, they're looking at this. They're not taking strong actions. They're just assessing. They're looking over the battlefield and they're assessing what is going on here. It's probably not a bad card. As much as the rest of us want this to be the Knight of Swords and charging boldly forth, they got to get their facts straight. Otherwise, we're going to look like the damn MAGA Republicans running around saying, "Ooh, election interference," and they got no frickin' proof. We have to be able to prove it. Otherwise, we have to shut the F up. There you go. And on cue, once they get that information, they're charging in like Sir Lancelot at the wedding from Holy Grail. There's going to be agreements, people working together. This could be the Democrats and the Republicans. This could be the Justice Department and local, state and federal governments looking at this. Because something's not right. Something is not right, and they can see it. They can see that, the Five of Swords, it's you keep on fighting when you should be walking away. And right now they're looking at how Trump conducted himself, and they're saying this doesn't make sense. They should be walking away. They should be walking away as losers, but somehow they won this election. And underneath it is Ace of Wands. That's that we are going to send forth a very bold message. In fact, that, I believe, was one of the final cards I had in my reading last night on whether there was election interference. Folks, once again, I'm not going to try and blow sunshine on anyone's backside. I do not have a spirit talking in my ear. I'm an analyst. I've done financial analysis for over 30 years. I've been doing tarot for just a few months. But my intuition tells me that there is something really, really off with this. And if I can look at this and say there's something off of it, gosh darn it, I'd like to think that Biden and our government is looking at this going, yeah, no, something's not right here. So let's take heart. Let's keep faithful that Dark Brandon is on his horse and that he is going to gather some information. And once he feels like we have enough to move forward, they are going to move forward fast and decisively. We just don't know how long that's going to take. And looking at some of the other intuitives, Libby through some cards, and she was seeing that as well. That I believe in the December or the solstice time frame, we would see some results from that. So right now we're in the tough part where we're hurting, we're disappointed, we think we smell a rat, but it doesn't look like anyone's doing anything yet. And so right now we just got to let spirit and the divine nature of the world and just have faith that they are looking out for us and that we will get through this okay. So have faith. Don't lose your hope. If we lose our hope and our faith, the dark side wins, and we don't want that. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you so much for all your support. Dave and I will be doing some readings this weekend. I'm sure of it. Dave will probably post some stuff up, not tonight, but probably on Friday night for Saturday. So hang in there. We love you very much. We really appreciate you. And we will catch you real soon. Have a wonderful night. Bye.